Hey sewing friends, welcome to #Friday Sews. Now I just returned from a trip from Great Britain where I spent a week at the M&M Sewing Retreat, and I gotta say it made an impression on me. It's been a game changer for me, so I thought that I would go ahead and share with you what I made and my thoughts on the retreat. So the retreat that I attended was a 5-day sewing retreat where you could tackle any Merchant Mills pattern that you chose. And I went ahead and chose the Harleen, their overalls, or I believe they called them dungarees. And then you also have the help or assistance of 2 tutors, which we had Katie and Elwyn. And if you've ever gone to the Merchant Mills website, you will see pictures of Katie and Elwyn in, you know how they make up the garments and they have models, I guess. They actually use their employees to take pictures of the patterns made up in their fabric, and so you will see Katie and Elwyn all over the website, and they were just wonderful, just a joy to have around. They were supportive, they were knowledgeable, they were very helpful, and they were patient with all of us, trying to get, you know, all 6 of us answering all our questions and getting us so that we can all complete our garments in the time that we had, you know, available to us. There were 6 participants, or 6 people allowed in our retreat, and we all stayed in a Victorian house that was provided by Merchant Mills. And I really liked that because it just, you know, it was like a week of just this wonderful week of skill building, of creative inspiration, and of just heartwarming camaraderie. Because we were all together, staying together, you really got to talk and bond with, you know, your housemates, rather than finishing the end of the day and then each person going to their prospective hotel room or hotel or house or whatever. There were 6 of us, and we were quite an international crowd. Doris was from Switzerland. Fiona and Chrissy were from England. Viola she actually works in Boston, but she's originally from Germany. And there was myself and another American there. So we had, you know, as I said, a real international mix going on there. And the house itself was just beautiful. I got so much inspiration from the house. I'm going to pop some pictures in of the house and the kitchen and the dining area where we all sat. And we all chose to sort of go to the store and buy some salads, some cheese and crackers and wine. There was wine every night, and eat dinner in rather than going out to restaurants. And that actually worked out really well, because at the end of the week, when we all had to, you know, sort of even up or square up what everybody had bought and, you know, make sure everyone was made whole, I think it was like $47 per person, and that was for the whole week for food, which actually, had we gone out, you know, that would probably be, what, 2 nights worth. So yeah, it was really nice. But again, the house, all the drapes, all the bed coverings, there were pillows, they were all done up with Merchant Mills fabrics, and it just had a very comfortable, peaceful feel or vibe to the house. And you know, I've never really been big on sewing home decor, but I can definitely see how the type of decor that you have can set the tone or set the mood for your house. And I really want to look into that, because I would like to adopt, or I would like to have my house have that very comfortable, calm, you know, peaceful vibe to it. And I know home decor is not big on everybody's sewing list, so I will keep that to myself, and I will not share it on the channel unless you're interested. And if you are, go ahead and just leave me a note in the comments. Yeah. So as I mentioned, I chose the Harleen, and what's really kind of interesting is that all of the, like when you go to the website and you see people modeling the patterns that they actually have all those garments available for customers to try on, and for us as retreat participants to try on. And that's really cool, because if you're a customer coming in, you can definitely see what the garment looks like, and you can also see what it looks like in a specific fabric, you know, to help give you ideas and inspiration. But then you can also try it on for size, so that you know what size you might want to cut out and use. So the first day we all got our patterns and our material, and Katie and Elwyn are, saying, here, let's try on this garment, try on these pants, so that people could get an idea of what size to cut out of their pattern. And I had made the Harleans before, and I'd made them in a size 18, and I felt that they were too big. They were definitely too long in, I guess, the rise, and they were too long in the legs. And I felt kind of the circumference was too big. So I was curious to see if, could I try on a size 16 and compare it to a size 18? Well, they had no garments. None. They didn't have the Harleans in a 16 or an 18, nor did they really have any other garments in those sizes. And that was somewhat disappointing because, it's obvious that I'm the largest woman there in the group, but the fact that I couldn't try anything on and everybody else could just sort of made it more obvious or emphasized it. So that was not a fun feeling. But I did work with Katie. I told her that I had made these before, and I'm glad that I was able to make them again, because the first pair I missed some stuff on the instructions. I either didn't understand it or something. But I had mentioned how I thought that the rise was a little too long, and also we made the corresponding adjustments, and I went ahead and made them up in this really beautiful olive green corduroy. Here, I'll show you. And I have to say, there is a lot more to this pattern than meets the eye. In fact, I find there's a lot more to the Merchant & Mills patterns that meets the eye when you look at their line drawings. This, I think they considered an intermediate project, probably because all of the top stitching that's involved. Also, when you do the side here, these little side flaps and pockets, that's a little bit, I don't want to say tricky or intricate, but there's definitely some precision that you need when you're making it. So here is this green corduroy, which is just the absolute softest corduroy ever. It's already been pre-washed. They did that for me before I arrived. And yeah, I'll go ahead and put a picture of me wearing it. As I said, I still feel that it's a little bit too big as far as the circumference. I think the length is okay. The rise is probably could be shortened maybe 1 more centimeter. But overall, these are fine. I mean, overalls are meant to be kind of baggy anyways. So when the weather turns and it's finally cool in fall and winter, I can see myself wearing these a lot. And I know that I'm just going to love wearing them. So yeah, these are my Harleen overalls. And then I actually finished these on Thursday morning. So I knew I had a day and a half left. And so what I decided to do, let me grab my pattern here, is make their Jack Tar bag. They call it the Jack Tar. And I had chose this for a couple of reasons. One, I thought it was easy enough that I could finish it in the day and a half that I had left. And then another one, I had seen Chrissy, who was one of the participants in the retreat. She actually had made a bag and she carried it around. That was her bag. And I liked the look of it. And then Carolyn Denham, who is actually the face behind Merchant & Mills, she's the one who designs the pattern. She's, it's her company. She had come and visited us during our time there, and she herself was carrying the Jack Tar. And it was a real attractive bag. I really liked it. So I went ahead and decided to make it. And I used what they call a dry oilskin. And I'm not that familiar with that type of fabric, so I can't really talk much to it, but I do know that you're not supposed to iron it. And that, yeah, you're not supposed to iron it, and that it's somewhat water resistant, but it's not waterproof. So here is my Jack Tar that I made out of this, they call it like a chili oilskin, and then on the inside I just used this cotton that they had for a lining. And there are 3 pockets in here. I don't know if you can see. I'll try and show you. But see, there's a pocket here, and a pocket here, and a pocket over here to put your stuff in. And then they provide you with they have a little kit that you can buy that has this metallic clasp, your D-ring, a leather strap, and your little rivets or whatever these things are called. So that was this is my Jack Tar bag, and I actually did finish that by Friday afternoon. So it was perfect as far as getting 2 items completed, and then I didn't run out of time and I didn't have excess time left over. So would I go to another Merchant Mill Sewing Retreat, and do I think it was worth the price? Absolutely. Absolutely, I would go. Now, unfortunately, it is a little cost prohibitive for me because in addition to paying for the retreat, I also have to buy a plane ticket from the US over to Great Britain, and that adds to the expense. So it is a little pricey. Those were expensive overalls, but it really isn't about the final product. I mean, yes, that is important, but a lot of it is about the camaraderie, and that's what I probably enjoyed the most, is that you got to spend 5 days sewing with people who share your passion, and that was the most important, or I don't want to say the most important, but that was probably the most enjoyable aspect of the retreat for me. So another make that I completed recently is my Marlowe sweater. I was trying to get this done before I left, but as it turned out, I didn't need it, so I didn't miss not having it there. But I did think I thought I would show you anyways because I really do like this. This is made from, it's an oatmeal colorway of a sweater knit that I got from knitfabrics.com. And I'm just going to put it on and move the camera back and show you it. Let me see. So here we go, my Marlowe sweater. And I want to show you the buttons. I don't know how they're going to come up on camera, but they got this little glass in here. Kind of look like wagon wheels, but I had them in my stash and I could never find anything that I thought would go with them. So I actually think they look pretty good with the sweater. And again, once the weather changes, let me move you forward. Once the weather changes and it gets cool, I can see myself wearing this throughout the fall and winter, and I think it's perfect for the office as well as casual Saturday, Sunday, Friday when I'm not working. Now, some of the things that are coming up. Oh, I want to remind you of the Rhapsody Fashion Show. So we're going to have a virtual Rhapsody Fashion Show, and thank you to everyone who has already sent me pictures and video. If you want to participate, just send me pictures or some video of your Rhapsody tops to pollysews22@gmail.com. We're going to make a compilation, and then I'll have a video that shows everybody's Rhapsodies. And if you can, go ahead and include the type of fabric that you used, maybe where you bought it from if you remember, and anything else that you want to tell me about your Rhapsody. And if you haven't made one yet, but you'd like to participate in it, I'm going to go ahead and post a Rhapsody sew along on Monday. That will be my Monday video. And then, as I mentioned before, I'm going to have information out on the Cashmere Bomber jacket. So that's going to be another interactive project we can work on if you're interested in it. I found some great ribbing that I want to use for the collar, the waistband, and the cuffs. I just need to find some material, but anyhow, I'll get into that more on that video. I think that one's coming up Wednesday. I'm not sure. I'll have to check the schedule. And then at the end of the month, I have 8 pieces that I want to show you that are going to be my fall winter capsule wardrobe. That I've narrowed down to. These are the 8 pieces I definitely want to make sure that I get made between now and the end of the year. And so I'll have the patterns and corresponding fabric picked out to show you what I plan on making. So thanks so much for hanging in there. I appreciate you guys, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.